Hello everyone and welcome to the diesel locomotive extravaganza. I've forgotten what I called it. Welcome to whatever I called it. Yes, over the next week we're going to look at exclusively diesel trains. We're going to go up in ascending. I just bought a bunch of diesel trains in the recent sale. And yeah, we're going to look at them. So we're starting off, we're going in ascending order. I could do the Class 08, but I mean, that's a bit boring. We've already seen the Class 08 several times. So we're going to go some new trains. Starting off with the Class 20. Today we're going to do a double-headed Class 20 run. Takes about 20 minutes. We're going to the Lackenby Steelworks up here. It's about half the line distance. And then we just got to do a little bit of shunt maneuvers at the other end. So running these... I would say short end forward, using American loco terminology, but it's just sort of like blunt face forward, because this is actually the front of the train, strictly speaking. They are very, very strange units. They're very unique units, and they're very nice. There's only 2 axles per bogie, so they're not super powerful, which is why we're running in multiple today. So yeah, let's jump in. The first thing we're going to do is going to put our master key in and put the throttle to forward. I think the throttle is kind of a bit backwards on here. Let's take the power off. Leave you in forward position. Go a bit of loco brake and pull the train brakes off. There was a knob over here. We're going to turn the air brake to goods. Now, AWS. There is a DSD circuit breaker, but I want to know if there are any control cutout switch, any other kind of fuse box type situations going on. So I know there's this here. Is there any AWS stuff? No. Okay, I don't know how the AWS works, so we're going to leave that alone. That looks like we're moving backwards. We're not. Right. Okay, we have a clear signal out of here, wherever here is. Where are we? That's the station sign. Eagles Cliff! Oh, my favourite station. Okay, we're going to clear out of Eagles Cliff. Let's get our headlights on. Our loco brakes off. And this thing has some really, really cool clag. If you watch this on our way out, get a bit of power going, but it does slip really easily because they're not super heavy locomotives, but they do have not a super high power either, so they slip pretty easily. But they do accelerate quite fast, but mind you, we're hauling empties of iron or steel flats, so yeah, these are pretty lightweight. How heavy is the train? 400, yeah, less than 500 tons. So, yeah, not a super heavy train. But if I ramp to full power, you can observe the mayhem that is that clag. Oh my, look at that. That is just insane. I like it though. And they accelerate pretty quickly, but we are hauling empties, and you're so up the front. You know, it's like driving a tube train. It does actually feel like I'm driving a tube train. You know, like a D stop or something. You know, the doors right up the front, and you got all of the controls smooshed up. Be absolutely terrible in a crash. I mean, could you imagine? You'd just be like a driver pancake. I mean, that's I guess why they run this one first wherever they can. Because if you look at the map, we're running wrong end. But I guess I don't know which end they were driven from most. If you do know, then tell me, because I'd actually be really interested. But we can motor up to 60. These things have a max speed of 90 miles an hour, I think it is. Oh, 60. Okay, it's pretty slow as well. That's good to know, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get the AWS equipment to run, so I won't run the AWS equipment, but we will use DSD, which should work fine. Okay, so we're going to come off the power there and go an initial application of brakes. That should be enough to bring us down for the diverging route. Set ahead of us. And just a brief overview. You should by now have seen the schedule for the next week. I commissioned the team, my single graphic design person, aka the only other person who helps me with this channel, who I also pay. Not much, but enough for him to work for me. So scuffed. Yeah, he should have made the calendar, the schedule for the next week. But if you haven't seen that, or if that's not up for any reason, there goes some heavy brakes for this. The schedule is okay, let's pull the brakes off now. Schedule is we're going to have this today, obviously. Then our class 31 tomorrow, or Saturday. This is all in Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well, it might be daylight time, I can't remember. Whatever the time is in Sydney, that's what I'm going off. Then it's a nice mechanical shunt signal. Then Sunday, class 33. I'm not going to reveal too much about them. You can look at the schedule to find out a bit more information about them. We're going to go Thursday for the class 40 and Friday for the class 52 in red livery. I love that air sound. It's a bit loud on my end. I hope it's not too loud for you lot. But use a bit of loco brake there, just so we don't completely overspeed here. It's quite a steep downhill gradient, but we're not a heavy train. This is like the 4-track bridge, where one of the tracks is only there because it's a bridge. These tracks look a bit nice. Still got jointed rail, which is a bit of a... Yeah, it's a bit cheap. Line speeds could probably be a bit higher if it wasn't for that. And we got a 20 limit coming up. I do like this route, and this train is quite fun to drive, actually. Expect to see it more. Okay, that 20 limit is coming up, so we'll go full application on the loco and minimum application on there. A bit more than minimum application. Get some of that vacuum pressure building. Maybe let's not get some of that vacuum pressure building. See if I care. We'll get our brakes off and we'll go some power though, because I don't want to completely stop. Funnily enough, I would like some movement to remain. And we're passing through whatever this station is. Ravensthorpe is on Northern Transpennine. Oh, I don't know. Oh, the horn is a bliss. The horn is really lovely. Let's go the throttle off. We'll come back to the front of the train and listen to this horn. Oh, so nice. What is this? What station is this? This is Thornaby. Oh, because that's Thornaby Yard, isn't it, bozo? Yeah, that wasn't my finest moment. Nice shot for a screenshot. And these wear a really nice livery. It really suits the BR big liveries. You know, the BR logo very well. The BR logo is just a masterpiece of design. It really, really is. We should be able to notch up to some decent speed in a moment. So I will go some level of power in preparation for that. Yep, there we go. Full level of power. We'll watch some of that clag coming out. Oh, and out of the rear unit as well. That is just so cool. I love it. I love it. And I love how the speed limits jump around. It always makes for a bit of a challenging drive, especially with some of the heavier turboliner cars, or some of the heavier steel trains or coal trains even. You know, not so much of a problem for us because we're in a fairly light freight train, or the passenger trains. But yeah, it is really fun. And I have looked ahead for some of the other scenarios. What we got planned, what I've got planned for the next week is really. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a very, very wide variety of fun little runs around. The videos won't be too long, in the region of 15, 20, half an hour. But yeah, I think you will really enjoy them. So stay tuned, and yeah. I've been having some problems with AdSense, so if you've been noticing ads haven't been running, that's yeah, I'm not making any revenue as of the time I'm recording. I've yeah, the YouTube's taken all my revenue streams away. So yeah, if you want to like comment how furious you are, which you obviously are very furious about that. I can sense the fury through my monitor. That was a joke, by the way. But why don't you go hit up the algorithm and comment anyway? You can even make negative slanders of me, and that was, yeah. The algorithm is so scuffed. You can type whatever random BS you want. It can be so insulting, or you know, it could be hate speech, and as long as it's not flagged or removed, it still boosts the video in the algorithm's eyes. It is so scuffed and broken. Anyway, we're getting up to this locomotive's top speed of 60 miles an hour. This is just so cool, but we're immediately going to have to go into some pretty solid brakes to pull our speed down to... Actually, probably don't need that solid braking. Probably go minimum a service application, and then pull the brakes off there and bail them off. And then go full power. Yeah, let's do that. Is the bridge lowering? No, it doesn't look like it. That bridge is cool though. Oh no, it is doing the noisy sounds. Is it? Let's stop bailing off those brakes. There goes a train. Hey, it's moving. You won't watch the whole process because it takes forever. And I've watched it before on some streams. Where's the speed limit go up? Oh, 101. Bye, 101. Meow. See ya. Alright. That signal better not be for us. Thank God it isn't. Oh, we're dropping speed. Okay. Go some brakes then. Why is my reverser... Why is my throttle off? Why are you doing that? Don't be stupid. Actually, we'll keep a bit of brakes on. Or not brakes, but we'll keep the residual pressure going for the upcoming 25 speed limit, which is through where is it? That's like the main big station. I forgot what it's called. It's clearly not very main or very big, but you know what I mean. Let's go some limited power just to get up this hill. Okay, not too much power. Go some full loco brakes just to bring the speed down. Not super quickly, but with more accuracy, and release the brakes quicker. Okay, bit of horn. To warn lay passengers of the incoming chopper. Have I not mentioned that it's a chopper? Because it sounds... I don't know why it's called a chopper, because it doesn't sound like a chopper. It doesn't sound like a helicopter at all, even in the slightest, but whatever. It sounds nice though, it sounds very nice, but not like a helicopter. Let's get some other screenshots. Can I not get launched to the back of the train every time something happens? You know, this is only 25 miles an hour, but it feels so much faster because I'm probably like smooshed right up against the front of the train. All of the hunting oscillation feels cool as well. Well, the fact that the turnout speed is faster than the line speed through here, bit of insult to injury. It's a modern whistleboard, amongst all of the less than modern signage everywhere else, the old speedboards and whatnot. Anyway, we should be able to accelerate up soon. There it is. Oh, that was very close to overspeeding. Very, very close. And we can jump back up to 60 soon. Hopefully we can stay at 60 for a while. Alright. Is that another train I see ahead? I think it is. That definitely. Is this our 31? Or a 37? Looks like a 37. Looks like a 37 is a 37. Nice. Called it. Meow. What are they? They're iron ore train, or whatever it is, steel or iron ore. Oh, we can go up to 60 now. Full power. Oh, level crossing. Or do these have the... Do these do the thing? I wonder if these do the thing. They should, because Tees Valley got the preservation update, I think. Wonder if we can get up to 60 miles an hour before they have to drop down to 25 again. Come on, open. 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 No? You're not going to open. That's a bit mean. That's very mean. I don't like this. I mean, imagine if it just opened just then. If you're new to the channel, I have a bit of an obsession with crossings that actually open. As opposed to just statics. Because they used to open and like do all the things. In the very, very first route for Train Sim World, CSX Heavy Haul Sandpatch Grade. They used to be dynamic, but they chewed up way too much RAM and CPU power, so they decided to cut that and just have statics, and now they're reintroducing them slowly. And they're standard for all new routes, but they have to go back and individually change them for all of the new routes and change the models and the dynamics and whatever the else. I have never coded a proper game, so I wouldn't know the full process, but I'm sure it's drawn out in a pain. Okay, we've got ourselves a diverging route here, so we're probably going to take a freight lead off to the steelworks, off to Lackenby. So we're going to go some brakes here. Probably at there we'll pull the brakes off and start bailing them off and go beard of power. Yeah, so we'll probably be taking this off-coming freight lead. Okay, come on. Speed and power. Let's not slow down too much, please. Okay. Freight lead. Who doesn't love a good freight lead? That's not Redcar Central, is it? No, South Bank. Oh, not Redcar Central, Redcar British Steel. I think that's further back down the line. Might not be. Honestly, I wouldn't know. But we're going to ride this freight lead for a while, it seems. Cross, I presume that's an overpass. Then pull into this yard here. Just check that all of the points are set correctly. Yes. Yes, actually we could make it fun. Oh no, we couldn't. That doesn't work like that. These yards, they're basically like 3 yards separated. It's not really like one. So it's, you know, you can't like have some fun and going through one of the yards. Yeah, that should be all correctly set. And then they go off to the everywhere else in the main line. There's so many freight leads, it's just a mess. Anyway, let's get up to speed. Got another diverging route indication up here. Got ribbons, I think they're called, pointing off into oh no, there's not ribbons, feathers. We've got our left-hand feather. Yeah, it's not very common that you get feathers on a freight lead. I don't even know what it's telling. Oh, it's telling us that we're. So the main line gets. That wasn't even a freight lead. That was just a quadruplication of the main line that then ends. Turns into. Oh no, so they were freight leads, but they were basically essentially just duplication or quadruplication of the main line for a little bit. But now we're taking another freight lead off. to go on this very steep overpass. And we're going to let the hill do some of the work for us. Climbing up here. Okay. Hills are very... If you can learn to use the hills strategically when you're driving trains in this game, it will help you a lot. You know, straight up, if you can use the hills to your advantage, and if you can, like, you know, use your eyes to predict, and if you can't use your eyes yet, use this map, so you can see this is where the overpass is, so you can, you know, especially with a longer, heavier train, you know, that you should keep your throttle on, because some of the heavier part of the train might still be on the uphill bit, so if you pull your power off, you start decelerating still, even if the leading end is off the front of the cliff. And you know, if you hit line speed, you don't want to pull your throttle all the way off, because then you lose your amps like I just did. That was a bit stupid. And you start slowing down. You want to just kill the throttle back to throttle on, or like a minimum power, so you keep the amps and you keep the engine running and the transforming and the transmission and everything. And then you just want to ease the power up and ease it down. It doesn't really matter if you speed by 1 or 2 units. What matters is that you're like close to the speed limit and within it. So you see here, some of the train is still in the power, so still on the uphill, so I'm going to keep a little bit of power. And now the heaviest part of the train is going to be on the uphill, so I'll go a little bit of independent brake, or not independent, auto brake there. And then come off the power and let the hill do the work. So now I don't need power, and I just need to work on my brake skills. Now we're going to go in initial application as we come around here. I presume the track quality degrades, or it's like yard limits, but we have to slow down to the quite painful speed of 10 actually. That's a very painful speed, but if we get the loco brakes just right, we should be able to float there. This is a very steep hill as well. In railway terms, it is a very steep hill. There's an absolute mess of tracks over here, because it's another one of those bridges, you know, I was talking about, because it's expensive to remove tracking over bridges, and it's expensive to put it back, so if they need it again, they'll just leave it there, but they'll remove all of the tracks from the approaches and everything else. You know, the British government really investing in your dual carriage motorways, and really not investing in your dual carriage train bridges. Let's go a bit more brakes. I'm not really managing them very well. But here we've got all of the steel ready to get shipped away. Blackenby Steel Works. We're going straight on at this junction. And the train's mostly on the flat now. Go a bit of auto brake. A bit more auto brake. Release. On, release. Okay, that should be good. Yep, there we go. And we'll go throttle on just to overcome ground resistance and drag and that kind of stuff. Measly 100 amps can't hurt you. And now we just cruise. Any trains you're expecting to see other than the ones in the yard? Anything going to come whizzing along the main line? Really don't know what I expected, but there's nothing. Anything in the other direction going to come whizzing along up behind us? Again, don't know what I expected, but no. There's our 37 that we saw earlier. Yeah, it's a busier route than you think when you look beneath the scenes. For a small country line in England during the most rail oppressive time in the UK's history, it's busier than you think. It'd be nice if we got some express traffic on the main lines there, but alas, we do not. Okay, 4% throttle. Just go a tiny bit more. Incy squincy bit. That's not enough. We can add another little bit. 10% power. You can feel the acceleration after that. You go from 100 amps to 250 amps from 6% extra power. Yeah, these controls are very fair. Don't see why this yard limit can be like 20, because even the map doesn't count it as part of the yard; it counts it as a main through line. Basically, on this map, an orange line is like a yard track. The blue is obviously where the dispatcher wants you to go. Sort of red is a through line. Can I find anything else? Obviously, this turquoise color, that's a platform. There are some other examples like this, which is like a point of interest or something. Like over here, this kind of be used to designate a fueling point. Yeah, there's not much else. That's about it. Where there's moving crossings, they'll designate that with a little cross in a circle, but sometimes they don't do that. Okay, we'll knock that back to throttle on, or throttle 4. No, not 20! Not 20. Not 20. Throttle 4. Okay, and we're taking this diverging route, and we're joining the yard. See all of that mining, or not mining machinery, but just general loading machinery. Because these coils, they're heavy. They're really heavy. You can only take like a couple of them per carriage. A coach. They are actually genuinely quite heavy. You need some pretty good track quality to be able to run them at speed. That's probably why the track limits are so low. Yeah, so you come off the main outside line and we're entering the filter line. But you can see these yards are like completely separated except for this little running line here. Which I guess I could have shunted along, but a bit too much effort. But yeah, they're almost fully separate, all three of them. Anyway. Up to 6% power. Once you're in situations like this, it does become really useful to have that really fine control over the power and where it's coming from and where it's going. Because I don't want to accelerate, but I want to hold the speed as best as I can. But I might be thinking about long term, or long term I mean like at the end of this yard, I want to be stopped. So I want to be going at a sort of, I don't want to be at 10 exactly when I'm 10 yards away. I want to be able to stop on the dot above it, because the dispatcher doesn't really give you much room. So if you cross that yellow line, it's going to be hard for a train to switch in front of you. So yeah, you got to really stay on your toes with that. It pops you right at the end of the available yard space. So I'm actually going to come off the power there and just glide in and use loco brakes to stop. Just get the points for using the instrument light. Why not? Okay, we'll drop our speed now. Okay, full brakes. I use a bit of map here. Full service brake as well. Yeah, you can see it doesn't give you much space, and the train on that track would collide. But it's alright, because we're going to shunt a bit further, so I'll start pulling the brakes off. Okay, and we got an EOT on the back of the unit now, which I guess is alright. I'll switch the air brake mode to passenger now, and now they'll release a bit quicker and just be a little bit easier to handle. We'll go to this yard up here, or this shunt neck, and we just got to stop there. The grid east shunt. I presume this part of the track is disused, because why wouldn't you just use the connection to the main line? Unless you're bringing a train round into this yard, but I mean, I guess if that's necessary, you would. But yeah, so now that we've uncoupled the lead locomotives, this yard is, or this track is well safe within limits, and there's extra room hanging off the back. But yeah, it's actually quite hard work shunting these trains around. So yeah, let's make sure that we're not hanging. Don't miss that. We might. No, we haven't missed it. All right, good. So, thank you all very much for watching this first... Oh, I only get a silver medal. Okay, that's bullshit. Thank you very much for watching this first edition of Diesel Extravaganza. What have I called it? Diesel Railfest. Yeah, thank you very much for watching this first episode. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, make sure you stay tuned for all of the following episodes. There's 4 more to come, and yeah, I'll see you then. Goodbye.